Look mom on YouTube. Okay, so this is my first video. It's been a while in the making. Today I'm gonna do a makeup look, obviously. This is gonna be a channel that revolves mostly around makeup, but I'm also gonna do a lot of fun stuff in between, so I'm really excited for that. So I was trying to think of what to do for my first video, and a part of me really wants to make it something meaningful. So I know that we've all been dealing with this coronavirus issue, and my thoughts and prayers go out to each and every one of you. I really want to pay tribute to all the doctors that have been on the front line of this virus. So I kind of got the idea that in most hospitals in general, the doctors wear blue or turquoise. So I kind of wanted to do a turquoise bluish inspired look to pay tribute to the doctors, because makeup is my art form and it's how I express myself. And this is me kind of expressing my gratitude. So let's get into it. I'm using a toner. Now this is from Vietnam because I live in Vietnam for the time being. You want to tone your skin, so just make sure that you haven't got any excess oils or any excess makeup on your skin. Excuse my voice, I don't usually sound like this. I'm a kindergarten teacher in Vietnam and we call this kindy voice here. I've been back at work for 2 weeks now. And this is what my voice sounds like because I scream when I teach, because I'm a very loud person and I haven't learned my lesson. And I like to use a toner even after I shower, once I've washed my face, once I've used a face wipe, because it really does get the other stuff off. Okay, next what we want to do is you need a good moisturizer. So skin is key. This is an Asian brand. I think it's by Naturey. I think that's how you would pronounce it. It's so weird seeing my purple hair on the monitor because it looks so much brighter over there than it does over there. Okay. Now you want to let that dry for a bit. Whenever you're applying skin products, you don't want to just go in with everything. You don't want to do your primer and then immediately straight afterwards you do your foundation, then immediately concealer. You kind of want to let everything set. So you just want to feel like everything is dry. Okay, now I'm going to go into my pore minimizing primer. I hope this thing is focusing. I'm so sorry if it's not. This is by Maybelline. It's my ride or die. That's the nice thing as well, as I feel like I can do tutorials and looks for you guys, and some of my stuff is gonna be like a little bit more out there. It's not gonna be drugstore as such, like you can't get it from Clicks or Walmart or whatever, but a lot of the stuff you can. So Maybelline, you can get this anywhere. It's a drugstore brand. This pore eraser is really good. It makes your skin so soft and it's like almost finished. So you have to try and squeeze out. I don't even know if I'm gonna get anything. It's not coming out. Oh wait, okay, I got it. Okay, now with the primer, you don't wanna go all over your face. You kind of just wanna target the areas where you feel like your pores come through the most. So for me, it's over here and a bit on my nose and on my chin. So we're just gonna lightly pat that on. Okay, I'm just gonna pop a bit on my forehead as well. So my foundation shade is a bit all over the place. So I'm gonna be mixing two together to kind of get what I want. So I'm going in with a Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation. Wet n Wild is another drugstore brand that you can find anywhere. And it's really affordable as well. And I'm going to be mixing it with the MAC Studio Face and Body Foundation. And just remember, makeup is about having fun. It's about expressing yourself. There's no wrong way to do it. There really isn't. There are obviously some ways that will provide better results than others. And it's just about finding what works for you and what makes you happy. So this foundation is almost finished. I'm going to be using, just got a little palette that I tend to put my foundation and stuff on. And again, you don't want to put too much pressure on the skin that's under your eyes because it is very delicate skin. I prefer to stipple the foundation on because then you actually like press it onto your face instead of just wiping it everywhere. So I stipple And then you go in with a damp sponge and you just smooth it all out. Now we're gonna let it dry for a little bit, not too long, but just to kind of let it set a little. Okay, I let it set for about 2 minutes. And then I'm just going in where I feel like I need a little more coverage. For concealer, my Maybelline concealer is finished, but it's a really good, not too expensive concealer. I highly recommend it. But for the time being, I'm going in with my NARS concealer. I don't know if you can, I'm a booty guru. I don't know if you can see it. It is in the shade medium 1 custard. If you hear kids screaming, it's because there's a lot of crazy kids on the floor of my apartment building. So I don't like to use a lot of concealer. So what we want to do is apply going up, because this is going to basically give you your free facelift if you are looking for one. I'm going to go down the bridge of the nose, a little over here, a little on the chin, a little over here. I've had such bad hormonal breakouts lately. Now for women, it is completely normal and natural to get redness around the nose. That is because of our hormones. So I don't get it too badly, but I just like to put a little bit of concealer there. I also recommend leaving the concealer on for a little while, depending on how much coverage you want from it, if it isn't necessarily a full coverage concealer. So under my eyes, I like my eyes to be bright and awake and open and fresh. So I blend out the concealer under my eyes last. If you have any questions about the process, about how I blend, how I apply, why, any reason as to why I do what I do when I do it, please drop a comment and I will try and respond to whatever comments are posted. Because at the end of the day, as much as this channel is just for me to have fun, I also really want to help people that maybe are just starting out in makeup, or maybe have been doing makeup for a while, but there's a couple of tips that I've picked up that maybe they don't know. I really do just kind of want to push my knowledge out there and help people as best I can, because I know that there are tons of people in the world that have such a passion for makeup, and one thing that I love is being able to learn something new about makeup. It's one of the reasons why I started taking a makeup course here in Vietnam, and I've actually learned so much from my mentor. I'm going to set my face. It's a bit dirty. I use the Yardley Absolute Translucent Loose Powder. I am going to be getting a new one. This powder is brilliant, don't get me wrong. When I was freelancing back in South Africa, this is the powder that I used for my clients. It's really good. But lately, I've started finding that it's not very fine and that you have to be very, very light-handed with it, because otherwise it looks like you shoved your face in a bowl full of baby powder. So I like to take a decently small brush. Always tap off the excess when you're working with powder, and try not to swipe it, because it moves all the foundation that we've already set underneath. So you go like that and your foundation kind of goes with it. So I always pat it in. It also depends on your skin type. If you have very oily skin, you will need more powder than someone that has very dry skin, because if you have very dry skin and you shove a ton of powder on it, it's not going to look fantastic. Now we're going to move on to contouring, because we love a sculpted face. Don't have any cheekbones? Contouring. Got a double chin? Contouring. Got a bigger nose than you'd like but can't really afford the nose up? Contouring. Which is me. I don't know, I've had people compliment my nose, but I can't bring myself to love her. But it's okay. So I'm going to go into this one and then tap the excess. Now, to create the perfect illusion for a good cheekbone, you want to start at your ear and make it in line with the corner of your mouth, but you stop where your eye ends. You don't want to drag it all the way to the corner of your mouth, because that is not, naturally what a cheekbone is supposed to look like, in my opinion. It's just an opinion. When applying powders, whether it's eyeshadow, whether it's contour powder, you do not want to butcher your skin. So you need to have a very light, yes, I look posh as hell with my little pinky, but she's balancing. You want to go in from your ear, blend it down softly in circular motions until you get until you get to where the corner of your eye begins. And she has a cheekbone. Okay, now we're just going to add some into the hairline to just make it more cohesive, just so that you don't have these dark contour lines and then you've got nothing else to kind of support it. So we just want to lightly in circular motions go around our hairline, and that just makes everything come together. I have been lucky enough to receive my mother's side of the family's double chin. Even though they are all skinny, we seem to just have like this extra little pouch that just chills right there. Thanks, Mom. Contouring is magic. I chose the perfect earrings today. They're just in the way. Okay, so now we're going to contour the nose. So you want to go on the outside and make a straight line. I don't like heavily contoured noses on myself. Like, some women pull it off and it looks gorgeous, but I don't feel like I have strong enough facial features to pull off a heavily contoured nose. So I kind of just try and give it a little bit of shape, and I just blend it out a little. Now I'm just going to take this light shade over here, and I'm just going to take it down the center of my nose. And then I'm going to take that same light color and I'm just going to lightly pat that under my eyes. Now for my favorite part, we're going on to eyebrows. The first thing you want to do is brush your eyebrows up with a spoolie. These things are amazing. Okay, so now that they're brushed up, we dip into our color. I'm just gonna draw a line like that. Okay, now the best way to do your brows is to follow the golden ratio rule. So if you go like this, that is where your eyebrow should end. And if you go like this and you look straight ahead and you go where the color, I think it's called your iris, where your iris ends, that is where your arch should be. And then if you go from your nose to the corner of your eye, that is where your eyebrow should end. So that's what we're gonna do. So you're gonna go along your brow, and that is where my arch is supposed to be. So when I get there, then I'm gonna turn and start going down and connecting it, kind of imitating eyebrow hairs. And then immediately afterwards, I'm actually going to add my eyebrow gel, because the eyebrow gel makes such a big difference. It puts all the hairs in place, it keeps them there, and it makes your eyebrows look more natural and fluffy and full. Now when you're doing this one is from Essence. It's called Lash and Brow Gel Mascara Style and Comb. This was so cheap and it works really well. So you brush up, and even when you get to the tail, just keep brushing up and to the side. Okay, brows are done, and now we're gonna move on to the eyeshadow. So I'm gonna be putting on the MUA Makeup Academy enhancing eyeshadow primer. Depending on the look that you're doing, now the one that we're doing today, it doesn't require much adhesiveness with glitters and metallics and stuff. So we are going to apply the closest color to my skin tone that I have on top of the primer, just to set it. So I'm going to be using the one from the Tati Beauty palette, because it is luckily quite similar to my skin tone. So I'm going to go in with Matte Aura. And the reason why I love this palette as well is the matte shades are very pigmented. so it makes it a lot lighter, which is going to provide the same effect that the eyeshadow primer is supposed to give. So you've got that double reassurance that you're going to have bright eyeshadow. You can see the difference. For our blue Dr. Scrubs inspired look, I'm first going to go in with Jaclyn Hill palette. She's seen a couple miles. She's a bit scratched, but she's been useful. She's been loved. She is still loved. And I'm going in with the third one from the top. It's this gorgeous matte brown. And to locate your crease, you can just take your brush and you feel your brow bone, and where your brow bone ends and dips, that is your crease. I'm going to take a very fluffy brush just because I don't want to be too precise of where I put this color, because it's just my transition shade. So you're going to tap it off and go in light circular motions. I'm barely touching my skin, you guys. You don't want to go in too rough because your eyes are very, very delicate, and you don't want to ruin the base that you've put underneath, and you also don't want to be too harsh on your skin. And again, going just below the brow bone in my crease. There are two main ways that are very effective for blending, and one is the figure 8 movement or a circular movement. And for me personally, the circular motions are a lot more comfortable, but you do what makes you comfortable. I'm sorry, the people on this floor are so loud. I'm going to stay with the Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm going in with this turquoise shade at the bottom. So I'm going to be taking a small brush just because we want this to be a bit more precise. So I'm just going to pack that color into my crease, blend out your color. This is a clean blending brush. Like I say, you want to build it up. You don't just want to throw all the color on there at once, because that can be detrimental to your eye look. If you're a beginner, I recommend holding whatever brush you're using to blend right at the end, because this won't allow you to be as heavy-handed. It almost forces you to do it very lightly, whereas, you know, if you're a little bit more experienced, you can hold it a bit closer for a bit more control. I'm going in with the Juvia's Place Zulu palette, and I'm going to be using this greenish turquoise shade over here, and going in with that same small brush. With this one, you want to be a little bit more precise. You're just going to follow the outer V, so you're literally going to make a V. I kind of want to go in with a bit of gold as well, just because I feel like gold almost represents value. And you know, we do value our doctors and the risk that they've all taken being on the front lines with this virus. So I'm gonna take my MAC Queen Supreme palette, and there's a beautiful gold shade in here, and I'm gonna take a flat packing brush and go into that, and then use that just on the inside. I'm going in with my Morphe M433 brush, and if you're wondering why this is the only brush I named, it's because it's the only brush with a number on it. So yeah, going in with the same gold, and I'm gonna go to the inner corner of my eye and use that at the top. You don't want to lie flat, you kind of want to go like this, just so that you're not disturbing anything underneath where you're intending to work. And then I'm going to go in with the same little packing brush, because I have limited brushes, and I'm just going to clean it real quick. And then I'm going to go back in with the Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm going to go in with this shimmery turquoise, and I'm going to pack that in the center. And then we need to blend it, so I'm going to take my blending brush, and that's going to get blended into the corner color. I'm going to go back in with my M433, take that gold and drag it slightly over the blue, and use circular motions to blend them together. Now I want to intensify the outer corner a little bit more with my small brush. I'm going to go back into this greeny blue color and we're going to pack that on. Clean blending brush. Okay, so now I'm going to go back in with the small brush again, and I've still got quite a bit of product left on it of the greeny turquoise, so I'm just going to drag that very gently. And then I'm going to take another blending brush, a smaller blending brush. This is again the Morphe M433. This is a really good blending brush, by the way, and it's clean, so I'm just going to lightly blend out the edge of that green. I'm going to go in with a tiny little pencil brush, like it's minute, and I'm going to take the same gold that I was using from the Queen Supreme palette. I'm going to put it on there, and I'm going to use that for the lower lash line in the corner. I'm going to do the other eye off camera just to save time. Both eyes are done. When I do my mascara, I prefer to tight line my eyes. It makes a really big difference. Now I'm going to take this cute little brush and I'm going to take that turquoise color and I'm going to put it on my waterline. Now for eyeliner. So we're going to just draw. It's taken me so long to actually get my eyeliner right, and I still don't do it every time. I'm going to take it from the corner of your eye and out like that. And then you don't bring it in from the exact tip, you go just below that so you can still keep that sharpness. And then you bring it down. And just drag it along. Now the best way to put it on your lid is not like this, but to lie it flat. I find it to be so much easier, and you can get the shape and the smoothness as well. I'm gonna quickly curl my eyelashes. I have used falsies before, but I don't have any, and also I have naturally long eyelashes, so I don't really feel the need to. If you guys want to pop on a pair of gorgeous falsies, you go for it. You do what makes you feel good. The mascara I use is Essence I Love Extreme. I'm gonna pop on some highlighter, and I am in love with this Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighting powder. You can get this anywhere and it's really affordable. So we're gonna put some, not too much, on our cheekbones. Oh yes, honey. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. It's such good quality for a drugstore brand. Honestly, it... Glow, 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 glow. Tiniest bit on the bridge of our nose. The tip, your cupid's bow. A little on your chin. And then you want to take a bit more of a precise brush. So I'm going to take the small one that we use for the turquoise, and we're going to pop that on the inner corner, and I'm going to pop it on my brow bone. For blush, I'm using this Morphe palette in 8W Warm Master, and I like to go between MUA and Unapologetic. And you want to smile to really get the apples of your cheeks. And I prefer to stipple. I feel like the pigment is a lot more, but that's why you don't want too much on the brush, because otherwise, I mean, if you like intense blush, go for it. But this is just my preference. Now for lipstick, I'm going in with the Metal Matte lipstick called Air by Kylie. So this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is me showing my appreciation to all the doctors out there who are taking care of everyone, and just know that we really appreciate you. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope you guys are staying healthy. Please leave a like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you have any questions. Let me know how I did on my first video, and I'll see you in the next one.